Good afternoon, Amy. Say, do you have a free minute? I was wondering if you could explain something for me.
What is it, Jack?
Would you mind telling me why the hell you went to see your parents again without my permission? And not just that, you went to borrow money from them. For God's sake, Amy, what have I done to deserve this sort of wanton humiliation, huh? Can you tell me that?
What? But how did you find out about that?
I just got off the phone. It was a very long and very unpleasant call from your father. He started laying right into me about how I need to make more money, I need to work harder, I need to find a new job. Do you have any idea at all how that felt for me? To have my wife's parents calling me to lecture me about my career and income? Well, Amy, do you?
I can't believe my dad actually called you. I explicitly told him that he could not tell you that I was there.
Don't try and throw this all on your dad, Amy. This conversation is about you. I work my ass off to make as much as I do, and I give you complete control over our finances, don't I? But now I find out that you've been going to your parents behind my back and begging them for money? You're out of line, Amy. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you seem unhappy with the lifestyle I'm providing for you. Is that what it is, Amy? Are you saying I'm not making enough money for you?
I'm sorry, Jack, but it's the truth. We simply can't get by on your income alone anymore. I mean, for real, Jack. I know you work hard, and I respect that. But you're only bringing home $1,500 a month. Food's getting more expensive. Gas is getting more expensive. Everything is getting more expensive. But you still make the exact same amount as when we first got married. $1,500 is not enough for two people to live on in this economy.
Don't give me that. $1,500 is more than enough to support two people. If you're having trouble making it work out, then the problem is your poor financial management. Remember, Amy, I bring home the money, you make it last. So I don't want to hear any of that $1,500 a month isn't enough garbage.
Jack, I've tried. I really have. I know it's my responsibility to make your paycheck go as far as possible. And I've done my best with what you've given me up until now, but it's just not working. If you would talk to your mom about sending her a little less money, then maybe things would get a bit easier for me.
What did you just say?
Jack.
Go on, Amy, say it. Tell me what's on your mind. I'm all ears.
It's just that you're making $1,500 a month, and then the first thing you do is send $500 of that to your mom. That only leaves us with $1,000 for our expenses. Then after we take out $600 for rent, that only leaves $400 for groceries, gas, and everything else. The numbers don't add up, Jack. We can't live like this.
Again, you're completely full of it. We can make do on $400 a month, no problem. One of the guys I work with says he lives on only $100 a month and saves the rest. If he can do it, then you can too.
That guy is 19 years old and still lives with his parents. They only ask him to pay $100 to put toward expenses. That's why he can do that. Our circumstances are completely different. We have to pay for our own food, rent, utilities. And that's not including other expenses like car repairs or medical bills.
Excuses, excuses, excuses! I'm tired of hearing all these nonsense excuses. The problem is crystal clear to me. You're just terrible at managing our finances.
Please, Jack, I am begging you as your wife. Can we please stop sending your mom so much money every month? If we kept that $500 for ourselves, then I'll never have to borrow any money from my parents again. I don't want to embarrass you, Jack. That's not my intent. So can we please work together on finding ways to cut back on spending?
Absolutely not. Under any circumstances. I will never turn my back on my own mother. What kind of a son would I be if I did that? My mom's living on Social Security. She's dealing with the same inflation that we are. So maybe you wouldn't mind watching my mom die of starvation, but I have no intentions of allowing that to happen.
But Jack, don't you get it? The only reason I have to borrow money from my parents is because of the money we send to your mom. You're helping your mom at my parents' expense.
Do not blame me or my mom or your parents for your inability to balance a freaking budget. If you could simply learn how to do basic financial math, then we'd be getting by just fine without cutting off my mom. And we wouldn't need to go begging to your parents for help either. Everything comes down to this. Are you prepared to admit that you have zero financial skills whatsoever?
That's it. I can't do this anymore. I'm done, Jack. I want a divorce.
You what? Divorce?
I can't be your wife anymore. Not if you're going to treat me like this. I asked you for one thing, Jack. One simple thing. Just talk to your mom and start sending her less money. When's the last time I asked you for anything? I haven't been to the salon in over 2 years. And I don't even remember the last time I bought myself some new clothes or makeup. I've given up so much for you, and this is how you repay me? With anger and insults? I don't need or want a husband like you. Let me go, Jack. Let's get divorced peacefully.
You ungrateful, insolent, stuck-up, selfish little brat! I've spent our entire marriage giving my all every day to support you! I even let you quit your job and be a housewife. You know how many husbands would do that these days? But this is the thanks I get. You demand a divorce?
You're not letting me be a housewife. And what good is being a housewife in an empty house with no money? I can't take this life anymore. I'm done with trying to make the scraps you give me last a whole month. I'd rather get my own job, make my own money, and pay my own bills.
You know what, Amy? Fine, have it your way. You want a divorce? Sure, let's get divorced. You're too stupid to realize what an easy life I was giving you. You don't have to worry about a single thing, so long as you can handle the simple task of balancing our budget. But if you're not even gonna do that, then I don't have any use for you.
All right, then it's settled. I'll go to the courthouse later on and see what sort of paperwork we need. I want to get this done as soon as possible.
And the same goes for me. I can't wait to sign my name on the dotted line and be rid of you. And once we're divorced, I don't ever want to see your face again. I've got better things to do than spend my life supporting a person who doesn't care about anyone but themselves.
The feeling's mutual, Jack.
I'm gonna go and stay with my mom starting tonight. While I'm there, you need to pack up your things and get out. And let me know once you're gone so I can go back to my apartment again. I'm actually excited for this. There's gonna be way more room in there without all your stupid crap.
I heard about what happened from Jack. You really did demand a divorce for my son, did you? Yes, Sandra, I did. I simply can't deal with his lifestyle anymore. Jack continues to demand that I make his incredibly small paycheck last for an entire month. Not only that, he flat out refuses to even consider maybe sending you a little less money each month. I've offered to get a part-time job to help us pay the bills, but every time I do, he flies into a blinding rage. I don't deserve a husband like him, and I won't put up with his behavior any longer. Well, I never! You're talking like this is our fault somehow. Let me remind you, dear, who was it who first brought up the issue of divorce, It was you! And I'm afraid you're going to have to come up with better excuses than those you just gave me. Jack is absolutely right on both counts. You might not care about how other people view our family, but I have an image to uphold. And what image is that, may I ask? Ever since he was a small boy, my Jack has been famous throughout our neighborhood for how much he cared about me. And the $500 a month he sends me is absolutely marvelous. None of the other parents in the area get that much from their children. Whenever I bring it up, they all act so delightfully jealous. So you see, I can't allow him to send me any less than that. You've got to be kidding me. Is that really the reason that he was being so obstinate? And as for you wanting a job, what would the neighbors think if they heard that you had to give up being a housewife to go and work? My boy has a reputation for being a reliable breadwinner and a loving son. I will not allow anything to happen that might damage that reputation in any way. Are you really more concerned about his reputation than the fact that we are seriously struggling in order to maintain it? I'm his mother, you're his wife. It's my job to watch out for any potential damage to his reputation. It's your job to ensure that potential damage never becomes a reality. But now I see you're so concerned about yourself that you're willing to abandon your responsibilities entirely and divorce him. Good heavens, what did we do to deserve a vicious harpy like you in our lives? I have done my very best as his wife to support him. I genuinely did everything I could to make this work, while he did absolutely nothing. But I can tell that no matter what I say or do, you'll continue to insist that I'm the one at fault. That's because you are the one at fault. Whenever anyone asks you about this divorce, you ought to tell them that it was your selfish decision to walk away from Jack. That's what I'll be telling my neighbors. You two really are only concerned about your precious reputations. You haven't even expressed any concern for me, or apologized for what I've had to go through up until now. I never knew what a cruel, uncaring person you were, Sandra. And I never knew what a pathetic, talentless wife you would be. But no matter, I'll just have to find a superior wife for Jack. One with a wealthy family that could support them financially would be ideal.
Still there? How much longer are you planning on staying in my apartment? Pack up your stuff and get the hell out tonight!
Excuse me?
It's already been 3 weeks since we divorced, but you're still living in my apartment? It doesn't even look like you've packed anything at all. What's going on, Amy? Did you forget we're divorced or something?
How could I forget that? Now that we're divorced, I'm finally free from the utter hellscape that was my life with you. I'm going to celebrate the anniversary of our divorce for the rest of my life.
Hey, yeah, congratulations. I'm real happy for you. Now get out of my apartment. That is my apartment, not yours.
Say what now?
Don't act like you're shocked to hear that. We were both there when we signed the lease. You know that it's in my name. And now that we're divorced, you're nothing to me and you have no right to live there.
Actually, Jack, I have every right to live here.
My God, you're such a child. You can't nuh-uh your way out of this. That apartment is mine. We paid the rent with my money. You never worked a single day since we got married, so I have no idea what basis you could possibly have to keep on living there. It's not like you can afford to pay the rent with your zero income, you freaking loser.
Oh no, you did not just call me a loser.
You bet your ass I did. You're the biggest loser I've ever met. You acted like I'm some kind of useless slacker for only making $1,500 a month. Well, $1,500 is a lot more than $0. I don't care if you wind up homeless after I kick you out, but you are getting out tonight!
Why should I have to get out of my own apartment?
What?
I'll have you know that this is my apartment, and I most assuredly can live here as long as I choose to. So you don't get to tell me to leave tonight, this weekend, or any other time. You think I'm a loser for living in my own apartment? What does that make you? I'd say the real loser is the one impotently flailing and making demands about an apartment that isn't his.
What's gotten into you? Are you drunk or just stupid? I already told you, we were both there when we signed the lease. I was the only person who signed it, so the apartment is mine!
I'm afraid it's not anymore. Ever since we renewed our lease last year, the apartment has actually been in my name.
Wait, what are you talking about?
It's just not possible to pay the rent for this apartment on only $1,500 a month. That's why every other month I had to go to my parents and beg them for the money. After a while of that, my parents made a very intriguing proposal. When we renewed the lease, put it in my name and have the rent withdrawn from my own account.
What the?
The way we were doing it, I would go to my parents, they would withdraw money from a nearby ATM, then I would deposit it in your account via ATM. But that was a real pain, and it cost us a ton of money in ATM fees. So, when you had me go and renew the lease with the landlord, I changed the name on the lease and the account for rent payment.
What the hell? How could you do something like that without saying so much as a word to me? I don't get it. What difference does that make? You could have kept the lease in my name and you could have just wired the money right into my account.
Yeah, about that. My parents didn't want to do it that way. In particular, my dad said that he couldn't simply wire money over to the man who was putting his daughter through so much misery. So I first tried asking the landlord to just change the account over to mine, but that didn't work. He said that according to policy, the name on the lease and the account holder for the rent payment have to be the same person. So I just said screw it and put the lease in my name too. I have the same bank as my parents, so they don't charge transfer fees on transfers between our accounts.
No way! I don't believe this, so that apartment really isn't mine after all?
For my part, I did try to tell you about it, but you wouldn't listen. I believe your words were, I told you, you handle all the money stuff. It's your problem, so just take care of it. I don't even want to hear about it.
I really said that?
Yep, so once again, this apartment is mine, not yours. Sorry. You don't have any right to live here, so please go away and never come back again. Don't worry about your stuff. I'll pack it all up for you and have it shipped to your mom's house.
Hold on, Amy, can we talk about this? Please, give me my apartment back. I can't lose my apartment, especially not to you, not like this.
I don't know what to tell you, Jack. You're out of luck. The lease is in my name, and it's not up for renewal for another year, so I can't change it. I guess you'll just have to keep on living with your mom at her place.
I can't do that!
Why not? I thought you and your mom got along great together.
It's not about us getting along. I can't live at her place because there is no her place anymore. She sold her house, Amy.
Whoa, she did? Really?
Yeah, it was all her idea. She said that since you were out of the picture that she could just move right in with me in my apartment. That house was the one I grew up in, so it was getting pretty old anyway. She was planning on moving into that apartment with me this weekend.
Oh boy.
So you see, I can't let you take it away from me. We don't have anywhere else to go. You have to give me back my apartment, Amy. Figure something out.
I don't have to do anything for you, Jack. Not anymore. I'm not leaving.
You can't do this to me. It's not fair. Your parents still have their house. You can give me my apartment back, then go move in with them.
At the company he's working for, and that means they're sending him to work at corporate headquarters in Ireland. And since my mom is going with him, they sold the house.
No way!
You get it now, right? I can't let you have this apartment. Have you tried talking to the real estate agent your mom used? You might still be able to cancel the sale on her old house.
It's too late for that! They found a buyer for the house right away! It was some real estate developer! They paid in cash for the house, so it's a done deal! No takebacks!
Wow, that sucks.
That sucks! Is that all you can say to me right now? I don't want your fake pity, I want my apartment back! It's way too big for just one person to live there anyway! What's a single divorced woman like yourself gonna do with all that space?
I don't know, but I'll find something, I'm sure. Like $600 a month for this big of an apartment in this neighborhood? This has to be one of the best value units in town. There's no way I'm giving it up to you or anyone else. And with that, I'm gonna have to let you go, Jack. I just got hired at my new job, so I have a lot to do. You? It was quite easy, actually. All it took was a little bit of paperwork, and then poof! The apartment is now mine. I'm sure Jack gave you all the details, so you don't need me to go out of my way to explain the whole story, right? And if that's the case, then you also know that I am never going to let you have this apartment, so you'll just have to find your own place. You don't need to tell me that. We don't even want that filthy little apartment anyway. After all, since it's technically your apartment now, if we took it back from you, we'd just be getting your leftovers. So my son and I are simply going to go out and find a new, much nicer apartment for ourselves. I'm glad you decided to move forward with your life, rather than getting stuck in the past. You won't believe how nice our new apartment is when you see it. You're going to be so jealous. After all, I have the cash that the real estate developer paid me for my old house. I think I might just get us a high-rise condo downtown. One with an enormous window that looks over the city. I'll be able to look down at the street below and see all the little people squirming around like the pathetic ants they are. I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. You might be able to work something out if you were able to come up with a cash payment for the whole thing, but you'll never be able to rent anything like that. What? What makes you say that? I'm pretty sure that Jack's credit score is negative. At the very least, it's so low that no reputable real estate firm is going to give you a lease for anything. But why? You're aware that Jack only makes $1,500 a month in take-home pay, right? And out of that $1,500, he was sending $500 to you. Meanwhile, our bank accounts were empty and we were drifting further and further toward bankruptcy. We took out payday advances, maxed out credit cards, used every single means at our disposal to keep from starving on the street. And needless to say, we frequently were unable to make payments on all of that. So yeah, thanks to that, Jack's going to have bad credit for the rest of his life. I don't believe it. You two were really struggling that much to get by? Yeah, I told you as much 1,000,000 times. Don't you remember all those times I came to you and begged you to tell Jack that he didn't need to keep sending you money anymore? But you never listened to me. You usually put in headphones and listened to music until I gave up and left. Oh. If only you would have just done what I asked. If Jack wasn't sending you $500 a month, we'd have had no problems paying our bills. Jack's credit would be fine too. What are you saying? That this is all my fault? I think that to say it was all your fault would be going a little too far. But I can definitely say that this is a consequence of your constant leeching off of your son. This can't be. So, let's recap, shall we? Jack is bankrupt, only makes $1,500 a month, and has a credit score lower than his IQ. You're a senior citizen living on Social Security. So I think it's safe to say that you won't be renting any high-rise condos anytime soon. Honestly, you'd have a hard time finding someone who would rent you a cardboard box to sleep in. Then what are we supposed to do now? I already sold my house, I can't get it back, and I've got all the money from that in my bank account. You're saying that even with all that, no one will rent to us? Yeah, this sort of thing isn't about net assets, it's about credit. So I'd say your only option would be to pay for the whole thing up front in cash. But that's going to be an insane amount of money. Yeah, probably. You'll be looking at upwards of $200,000 at least. By the way, how much did you end up selling your house for? $60,000. Did you by any chance miss a zero in that number? No, I sold it for $60,000. It was old, our plot of land was small, it's close to a noisy factory. That's all the developer would give us for it. And I barely had any savings to speak of before, so that $60,000 is all I have. Ah, well then I guess you can't buy a condo in cash either. $60,000 is quite a bit less than $200,000. Amy dear, it would seem that I have no choice. This weekend, my son and I are both going to move in with you. Have a room cleared out for us. Huh? You might be divorced now, but up until recently, the two of you were man and wife. You have a duty to help us in our hour of need. I have a better idea. If you come anywhere near my apartment, I'm calling the police. Good luck finding morning. They came to my apartment and started pounding on the door and demanding to be let in. Once they heard the sirens coming, they ran away though. I haven't heard anything from them since. As for the money we borrowed from my parents, it took me a while, but I paid them back the whole amount. They told me I didn't need to, but I wanted to. It was the least I could do to thank them for all they did for me.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.